Now the Paul Mitchell thing, they was hot. These dudes was beasting. And when he got on, that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to beat these guys because they weren't the cream of the crop. Then this team came around called CJB.
Absolutely.
And they had these two young guys. People might have heard of them by now. Trevor Nash, Jason Tention, Russ Taylor.
Wait, don't.
And then let's go on.
And a guy named Damon Gilbert.
They brought an old veteran to sort of put a little seasoning with the
They found a dude that nobody knew about on this side. That's what they did.
I snuck out here I snuck out here, and we start to battle with you guys. I need to get this in because I'm gonna show my son this when I get on.
Yes, absolutely.
Focus in on Mr. Tention because he can't lie. Between 2000 and 2004, would you say that CJB was better than Paul Mitchell when you was there, or not? As far as many times we fought, statistically speaking.
Yes, I would say that statistically
Zoom in on me.
Yes. CJB was statistically better. However, when it came to overalls, Paul Mitchell was still winning the majority.
They might have a little bit more, but we was in there with you.
But collectively, y'all worked as a unit a lot better. And I want to say that our best unit. Well, I don't want to say our best unit,
but a very good one.
A very good unit.
But I'm already fighting Austin. He's gonna say Mike P, Raymond Daniels,
and myself. And I want to say this because last time I was on this, Mike P was running his mouth a little bit about the seminar stuff. Mike P has showed me some nice stuff. But be clear, I got my whole twist on all of those things. Another thing I want to say to Mike P is, I think Mike P never got the props he deserved. I really believe that. I believe that Mike P, I think a lot of dudes don't give Mike P credit. Mike P's style of fighting is all over this game right now, and a lot of dudes don't give Mike P his props. So I'm giving Mike P his props. But be clear, don't think I done took your stuff that you did show me, because remember I was on Paul Mitchell before you sent me a tape. Be clear.
Hey, that's a good one for Mike, and hope to see them so they get a good laugh. And don't forget to go back to the Mike Pombero interview, which is crazy, which goes in connection with this. So at some point, Johnny, everything, the clouds are blue, the sky is gray, everything is great. You got Raymond Daniels at that time. His blitz, nobody could see it. It's absolutely ridiculous. You guys had Brian Pimple, who was doing his thing high level. Reggie Perry. You guys were just stacked. Dean Furstenberg, Gerald Dawson, the great Awesome Dawson. You guys were stacked. And all of a sudden, there's a separation of some sort. I've talked to Mike about it. And now I get a chance to talk to you about on your perspective on a lot of people always wanted to know this powerhouse team, this great team, this team of just super fighters, to be honest. Raymond in his prime, you in your prime, Reggie's there, Brian Pimple's in his prime. You guys, heck, you even had Preston Clements at the time, and you guys were super stacked. We would look at that team and we'd be like, oh my God, we got to put some work in. What eventually led to the separation of that era of Paul Mitchell, where yourself, Michael Pombero, Raymond Daniels, and Reggie said, "Hey, it's time for me to move on and venture into some other things."
All right, this is not about emotions. This is the absolute truth. This is what happened. Prior to the departure, anytime that a fighter was considered to be on the team, we all negotiated. We all would talk about it, because ultimately, it wasn't the coaches, it was the fighters that made the other fighters better. If you know what I said earlier, I said when I was in the huddle, I didn't say the coaches, I said the information that the Mikeys, the Johns, the Pedros gave me, what really made us better. And when you bring a new guy into that nucleus, that group, the fighters build him up, because we in a foxhole together. No disrespect to the coaches, but the fighters, we in a foxhole together. Okay. All right? So especially from now, maybe a little different, but if you got a fighting coach, that's different. But the reality was we didn't have fighting coaches like that. I mean, Babcock participated, but I'm saying, just telling the truth. So now, what happened was they wanted to get Jesse Goldberg on the team. I got a call from Coach Don, and I got a call from Babcock. He said, "What do you think about Jesse Goldberg?" I said, "I think Jesse Goldberg is pretty good, but he's not ready yet." Now, remind you, at this time, to get on that team, you could win 4 or 5 grands, and they still wasn't looking at you. It was an elite. When you got picked, it wasn't a team of 40 fighters. It was like 8 of us, and it was an elite group of guys, high-level guys. So when you said Jesse Goldberg, this is a kid who wasn't winning no grands. This was a kid that none of us felt like, oh my God, but he had talent, but he just wasn't that 20-point scorer that when I'm talking about going to the All-Star game. Okay. So I said, I don't think, they asked me, they said, I said, I don't think that he's ready. Now, can I put this on pause for 1 second, so I can go back a little bit. 1999, they asked me They wanted to pick up 2 people on the team. It was Jason Tention and Jason Facey. Nobody looked at Raymond Daniels. I went to bat for Raymond. I said, listen, get this kid. He's 6'2", he's a lightweight. Pick him up.
Yeah.
I got a little dialogue, not a debate, but now what y'all do know, we looking at Jason Facey, because Jason Facey, good fighter, just won the Waco, and Jason Tention, we all know, is a beast.
Yeah.
But I said, listen, if you get a dude who's this tall, you can use him in any division because of his height. You can make him fight anybody regardless of his weight because of his height. You can't do that with some of the smaller guys. So they agreed. Started Raymond Daniels. I was really politicking for him. Maybe me and Mikey, because I was the one. Yeah, Reggie was going for Jason Facey because he came out of this camp, but I was like, listen, get this guy. They got Raymond. So they asking about other guys. So now go back to Jesse Gilbert. So this was a consistent thing of asking before we did anything. So Don called me. I told him he's not ready. He said, I agree. Babcock asked me. I told him he's not ready. He said, I agree. I just wanted to clear it up with the guys. So Christmas Day or the day after Christmas, I get a call. It's from Jesse Goldberg. He says to me, I believe this is 2001. He says to me, hey man, Johnny, I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot. I said, thanks a lot for what? He said, I'm on the team, man. I said, oh really, you on the team? I said, congratulations. Okay, congratulations, Jesse. I called Babcock. I said, why would you ask me my opinion about something if you already had your mind made up? And this is not the way we do things amongst with each other with the fighters. He says, well, Johnny, and this could be my emotional part. I felt like he was a Don Rodriguez student and Don had his own agenda. And I have no problem with you looking out for your boys. But if you look out for your boys, they got to go through the same cycle that we went through. Because when he comes in them gates, he's going to need us to build him up to have his back. And I want to know when I'm in a foxhole with a dude, I have to respect and honor that dude, knowing what his makeup is, him being battle tested. So it's not a question thing. And I felt like Jesse at that time didn't have that. So I was like, why would you ask me to do something, or why would you ask me my opinion if you already had your mind made up? So he said to me, quote, Jotty, Steve Babcock says, Jotty, let the management do the management and the fighters do the fighting. I said, excuse me? I have no problem with that, Steve. But don't throw that on me when it's convenient now to throw down and say, listen, let's change the rules of engagement.
Was that the final straw at that point?
When you see, because I feel like, now you're talking to me like basically shut up, let the man. That's how I took it. It was a nice way of saying shut up, let the management do it, you stay in your place. You're telling me to stay in my place, but I'm the guy that's going to have to help this guy get better, the same way those guys helped me get better. Right, each one teach one. That's right. So at that point I was like, you're not going to talk like this to me. I'm not going to see a lot of us are slaves to sponsorships. We allow people to talk to us, to disrespect, just to wear a uniform, fly all over. You're not going to talk to me like that. I don't use this to validate myself. So I said, you know what, Steve? I appreciate the time I met you. I'm just gonna go do my own thing. Steve Babcock's like, all right, well, I hate to hear that. Fine. I let my boys know who's in the foxhole with me. Me, Raymond, Reggie, I never suggested anybody leave. Those guys said, I'm with you. Reggie said, I'm with you. Raymond was the first one who said, I'm with you. Mikey said, I'm with you. Reggie came right after that and said, we all leave together. But the point is, none of it was just the respect that we had as a group. Okay, that bond. That bond. You guys been there with each other. And that's why the group made the team. It wasn't nothing. There wasn't nothing else. So that was what the divide, what caused the divide.
And what year was that? 04?
I believe 05? It was. I believe it might have been.
05?
Yeah, it might have been.
Now I've always wondered, and I've heard through the Gilbert Gripe Nation that, like you said, because the Paul Mitchell thing was serious to you, and the level of credibility and the resume you wanted there as a captain of the team, that was important to you. So my $1 million question is, why would you leave such a prestigious team with the tight guys that you had, and then straight up opportunity came? Which at that time, no disrespect to anybody, straight up, they were light years away from the Paul Mitchells and the CJBs. That was sort of your warm-up team in that era. They never was in the mix, but I mean, they made some great pickups. Yourself, Raymond went over there, and then later on, Jason Tention even went over there and just made just a dominant team. What was the motivation there? And is this true? Because if it is, then that makes me feel better. I had heard through the grapevine, through the Gilbert Gripe Nation grapevine, there's gripers everywhere, which makes sense. Because they would have to do that for me to fight, because I just don't like wearing purple. That's another conversation for another day. But there was rumor that the only way you guys are going to fight is if you guys got paid up front by the sponsor to come and show up. Hey, here's $1,000, Johnny, when you guys show. hey, come here, do this thing, do it. Is there any truth to that when you guys first started on Straight Up, or did you guys just go there strictly because, hey, I love the purple, I love the yellow, and I love the team, I love the vibe, I love, is there any truth to that?